In the press review today, we start with South Africa, where 5 alleged underworld kingpins in the Cape Town protection mafia have been slapped with 7 additional charges of intimidation and extortion. Just that, of 2 patrons at the Cubana nightclub in Stellenbosch. The court had how members of the mafia behaved as if they owned the streets of Sea Point, blocking roads with a convoy of expensive vehicles and demanding tables at restaurants. The hearing of Nafis Modak, Colin Buisen, Ashley Fields, Jacques Cronge and Carl Lackey kicked off rather dramatically, explains the newspaper, that is the Daily Maverick, as the 7 counts were read out to the concerned at the opening of the sitting. The Daily Maverick also states that the men have been in detention since December 15th, when they were arrested as part of the Operation Combat Anti-Gang Unit investigation in the city, which has been plagued by endemic violence in the nighttime entertainment economy. On the eve of his inauguration, it's a race against time for George Hannane to form the government that will set the tone of his policy for the next 6 years. Front Page Africa is making predictions about potential future holders of the ministries of the West African country, while specifying that the task is going to be difficult. For many international political observers, critics and stakeholders, the first set of appointments should serve as a landmark in how President Weah will implement his plan for Liberia in the post-Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf era. Since its election, speculation and rumors that the outgoing president has lobbied Weah by proposing names of members of her government to her successor have been going round, and yet the government denies any implication and attempt to influence the politics and choices of the president-elect. However, Front Page Africa goes on to explain that the president's dilemma goes beyond the pressures of not only members of his own coalition for democratic change, but also the National Patriotic Party of Liberia. The newspaper reminds us that former President Charles Taylor, in his stronghold in Bong County, also played a central role in the victory of George Weah. Finally, we take a look at the Tunisian press. It's time for reflection and assess the situation in the country on the occasion of the 7th anniversary of the Tunisian Revolution, which led to the fall of President Ben Ali. At the time, the author of this opinion note says the lack of transparency had discouraged European investors from moving forward in a bet on Tunisia that could have given rise to genuine contracting and a new model of development based on a high level of technological penetration. Before the revolution, Tunisia was a moderate, peaceful space eligible for integration into the European area. After the terrible offensive that it suffered during and after the revolution, Tunisia became, to its defending body, a country formerly independent but territorially invested and coveted. Continues the journalist. He asked the question, how can we get out of this part of chess that goes on without us and at our expense when we are convinced that we have built a genuine, modern, democratic, civil and peaceful republic? The policies are at work, but the means are lacking and the risks are threatening. He concludes.
Conclut le journaliste.